Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing. If this information interests you, please press the like and subscribe button and press the bell for notifications. I hope you're doing well today. It is April the 1st. So if you have not done it yet, you still have time to play that practical joke on that person you love so much. I know for myself, I'm a practical jokist myself, so I pretty much give everybody a break on April 1st because it's kind of a cliche, right? So typically, I crank call my coworkers, or I'll play jokes on play practical jokes on my daughter or something like this all throughout the year. So, this is like any other day to me. Now, I was change the subject. I was watching this surgeon on YouTube, and he was talking about the coronavirus and how serious it is and what it does to your lungs if it does attack your lungs and so forth, and the need to really be careful, and it's something to be taken seriously, right? Now, the one thing that I want to say, because we all have been told our whole lives to make sure we wash our hands, but most of us probably didn't wash our hands properly, right? So I was really looking at the way he was washing his hands because he was a surgeon, so he's showing how surgeons wash their hands to prep for surgery. But the one thing that he said that just makes me crack up every time I wash my hands. I always think of this, but because it was so out of character for him to say this, but he was washing his hands, right? He said, "This is how you wash your hands. You get in between those fingers and you really scrub it and stuff." And he goes, "You got to kill those little fuckers." Talking about the coronavirus. So when you wash your hands, you got to kill those little fuckers. But anyway, I hope you are washing your hands, keeping your hands away from your face, and you're staying safe if you have to go out in public like myself to work in those essential businesses. And if you're not, I hope you're making the sacrifices to stay home, for the time being. I will say this though, I wonder where this is all headed, with the entire world being in a lockdown. Now, the United States hasn't been in a total lockdown yet, but when things finally open up, are we going to go back to the way it was, or try to, and as the master said, to continue the same folly, or are we going to start to change our ways? I've noticed since this lockdown that I've been breathing a lot easier, even though the pollen has been severe here in Atlanta, as it usually is every time of the year this year. It gets really bad, and if I go for a walk, I'll come back and my eyes are just really red, and I'm coughing, sneezing, all that kind of stuff. Just itchy eyes and everything. I've been going for my walks in the afternoon and coming back, and like I said, everything's yellow. Cars are yellow, streets are yellow, that kind of stuff, just like it is typically. But I'll come back home and I'm not wheezing, I'm not coughing, I'm not sneezing as much. In fact, hardly at all. And you look and there's just not a lot of cars on the road. There's no planes flying in the air. So hopefully, as a bright side, this will help buy us some time until we decide to really make the changes, ecologically, to help SOP save our planet. And then, looking at the world and where we were living, with the economies of the world and how it was all about making a living, making a living, making a living, making a living, and to where now we've had to take a step back and, to help take care of ourselves and to save ourselves, really. What's it going to be like when we finally try to go back to work? Is it going to be the same, or is it going to be different? And that's the $64,000 question for me, for sure. Now, I wanted to read a message from Maitreya, and then I'm going to read an article from Benjamin Creme's master, and I think they're both very, very pertinent to what's going on today. And I do want to say, when Maitreya and the masters talk about sharing, it might be us giving money from time to time, or giving money from, to help others out and so forth. That could be a part of it, But when they're talking about sharing, it's more of what will really bring about justice and peace in the world is not so much individuals just giving money to, poor people. It's more of nations giving excess of what they have to other nations. And so countries like the United States that have a lot of excess, they can give some of that corn, that wheat, the excess of butter or whatever it is, right? Oil, even, I don't know, to other countries that really need it for their people to help their people out. And then whatever country takes what they need, they can give whatever little excesses they have back as payment. And according to the masters, every nation has something to give. And of course, need has a lot to, in terms of need, but eventually it will bring that process of sharing of the world's resources from, country to country, and the interplay between that will create the trust between the nations. And then as that starts to flourish, of course, people will feel more that their lives are more fulfilled, and which will bring about justice. And that trust and justice, we can start to tackle all the problems that we are facing today as a people together, and do it rather quickly, really. So, when people quote the Bible and call Maitreya all sorts of names, and say that, oh, he's going to guarantee, he's going to promise peace, and this, Maitreya is not promising peace. He just knows that we have it within ourselves, because the problems of the world are man-made. We have it within ourselves to solve those problems. But he will say that peace is the single biggest thing that we need to accomplish, or there will be no future. So when I read this message from Maitreya that was given through Benjamin Creme in Munich, Germany, in October of 2008, when he talks about sharing, he's talking about the sharing of the world's resources as the need to bring about justice and peace. But here we go. My friends, listen carefully, for I bring hope to you all for an end to your troubles, and for a new life for all those ready to accept the need for justice and peace. The lack of these two, justice and peace, is the major obstacle in your path today. The way to justice and peace is easily solved. It requires only the acceptance of sharing. Share and know the future. Refuse to share, and there will be no future for man. Simple is life when seen with the knowing eye. Learn, my friends, to live simply and to love one another truly. My friends, believe it to be true, for it is so, that you shall see me sooner than you can imagine. I am even now at the door, ready to step forward and to begin my more open mission. Be hopeful and of good cheer, my friends, for all will be well. All manner of things will be well. I do want to point out, before I read Benjamin Creme's Master's article, he talks about, simple is life when seen with the knowing eye. Learn, my friends, to live simply and to love one another truly. And really, I know that's what's been going on for me, and I've seen it in other people, right? For so long, we're a consumer-driven society, so, we keep buying and buying and buying. I've never really been much of a buyer, but I've seen people in my life who like to buy, buy that new thing, buy that new toy, buy that new car, buy that new TV, and so forth. And now it's coming to the point where we're having to see what's really important. What is important? Is it new TV just that important, or is it more about the need for food and to make sure that we're going to get through the next few months, and eat, And that's why the title of the last video I put up was, you can't wipe your ass with a brand new TV, because people are starting to, I think, change their priorities on things. Now, I also have started to see a glimmer of hope in this one, where it says to love one another truly. Because for our whole lives, we've, it's been about making a living, and to the extent that we've cut out everything and everybody in order to do that. And we as a people have had to take a step back and really, a lot of us can't go to work. Now, I'm still been working, but the majority of the people here in Atlanta aren't working right now. So I'm sure people are going stir crazy in their homes, but at the same time, it's had to give everybody a pause. And so I think that with the way things are with the environment and how we haven't been driving as much and so forth, is helping to kind of help our environment out. I also think that by us taking a step back, we're starting to realize that there are people out there. other than ourselves. So, hopefully this will bring about what we need. But anyway, I wanted to leave us with Benjamin Creme's Master's article that was written in June of 2013, but it was published in July, August of 2013. So it's entitled, "The People's Voice Heralds the Future." It is becoming more and more obvious to many that the present economic structure of the world is in tatters and must be changed. For example, the economies of the USA, Europe, and Japan are in the doldrums, and China, so recently the powerhouse, is slowing down. Only India, where millions still live and die in poverty, and Brazil hold aloft the banner of quote-unquote success. Admittedly, this is a very partial view of the economies of the world, but it is largely the case that the nations are languishing and know not how to prosper. The old tricks no longer work. University graduates feel lucky to serve in bars. The poor are poorer than ever and are thankful for food banks. The middle class struggle to quote-unquote keep up. The rich are richer than ever, but believe they are overtaxed. Governments try, but their priorities are mistaken, and their methods no longer are relevant to the problems which face the world. The people, however, who suffer most from government inaction and wrong thinking, see clearly their own needs. They look for freedom, justice, the right to work, and a world at peace in which their families can thrive. Their demands are more and more being given voice. For little longer will the mass of men restrain the anger and frustration which is their lot. They trust no longer the words or the actions of governments done in their name. For too long and too often, they have been deceived and cheated of their birthright. They see this in simple terms, but with clear eyes, trusting no longer the machinations of the powerful rich. The voice of the people is rising, nay, has risen, and is calling men to declare themselves. The people, clear-eyed and unafraid, have looked into the future and have seen the possibility of the future of their aspirations for a just and peaceful world. They know that this will not happen by itself, but that they must, together with their brothers and sisters, take the power of fulfillment into their own hands. They know, too, that the way may be hard and dangerous, but that the prize is too precious for them to fail. For it is the prize of brotherhood, of justice and peace, and a better, simpler, and truer life for all. They know that no sacrifice is too great for this achievement, and are willing to die in its name. Thus will the people of the world inherit their birthright of freedom and justice that is their due. Thus will the voice of the people rise louder and clearer in the months and years ahead. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we look forward to talking to you again. And remember what Maitreya said, keep your eyes on the prize, and the prize is humanity. Remember to take action and help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos.